What up, G's? Wait, this is on the wrong screen. Let me just transfer this over. Ah, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? What's happening, everybody? Andy here, Biohazard Declassified. Man, it has been busy as hell here at Biohazard HQ. Obviously, wait, I need to orientate myself. Like, here. There you go. Obviously, we've been very, very busy. And I haven't managed to shave or haircut, which would be a lie, actually, because my barber is actually in the chat. So I definitely have had a haircut in between then. But yes, oh my word, we're finally here. There's much to talk about since, man, it's been a long weekend. It's been a long week, bro. It's been an absolutely long week. And I'm so happy you guys are here to experience my thoughts and with the wider community here at Biohazard Declassified. Because, yeah, as I said, it's been an absolute unbelievable week. What do we want to start off first with? Let's talk about Original Sin Prelude to Biohazard, which we have been working non-stop on it. Brandon, and Tom Robinell, the DOP, just absolutely grafting to get this crowdfund off the ground. Locations, etc., obviously building that budget, but I mean, it's really paying off. We launched last Monday, and this is the figure we're at. To put this into context, we raised the entire Keeper's Diary funds on day one. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So mammoth effort to everybody that has donated so far. I have got a link on both the Twitch and the YouTube. If you do want to contribute, you can get obviously. It's going to be very similar to previous campaigns in that regard in terms of perks. The Blu-ray's back. Obviously, this is Resurrection. But yes, you can get a Blu-ray of Original Sin Prelude to Biohazard. Which obviously will probably drop this time next year, I would have thought. Our current plan is to shoot in the fall, in autumn. Shoot in September, October, and have the film all wrapped up by the end of this year. We've got signed posters. We've got names in the film. Like, you can literally donate to put your name in the film, which I think is a really cool perk. We've got signed posters, signed movie posters. We've got the standard backer credit, of course. You just want to support us, you certainly can do that from $25. So yeah, it's been an absolute. I'm so overwhelmed so far with the progress. I'm pretty confident that we're going to pass the initial goal of 100,000. Now, we do have a bunch of additional stretch goals, which I think you guys are really going to be interested in. The big one, well, working your way through it, we've got kind of production value upgrades. Like, we want to spend a little bit more money on like FX and stuff like that. So 100k kind of gets us that baseline Original Sin experience. 120 gets us a couple more production value upgrades in terms of a couple of monsters that appear on screen, and we really want to take that to 11th hour. If we don't get that, we will end up just minimizing it a little bit, but it will still be effective. Like, at the end of the day, Original Sin can happen for 100k, but there's a ton of different kind of upgrades to get you through to the end. The second one, actually, let me pull them up here, so I'm not like reciting the wrong thing. 2 seconds. You might see it on screen. I'm hoping you do, but let me scroll down the campaign. I think it's just after this. I'm hoping you guys can see that. It's just off, okay. There we go. Right, so the first one we got is the Arkley Mountain Mystery. That unlocks 120k. That is the initial scene with Chris Redfield. If you've read Biohazard at the beginning, you know exactly what I'm going to be talking about. We're just going to add a lot more depth to that scene in terms of kind of practical effects and production value. So if we can't get that, that's fine. Obviously, we still shoot for 100k. Absolutely fine. The second is 135k, which is a kind of boss battle, really. I think you guys are really, really going to like that one. It's really, really special. And again, it just enhances the production value of Original Sin. We then move on to Bioorganic Weapons Official Report. There's a a video that's going to be played, potentially, a video that's going to be played in the film where you basically watch the outbreak or the initial happenings in the Spencer Mansion lab. We want to shoot that at the same time. And we will do that for 150k. If we don't, we will obviously creatively write it out, but we'd really like for that to happen. 170k, we've got the exclusive screening. We've kind of already got a deal in place to show it, but we do have a stretch goal to make that happen. A huge one is I'm Going With You. I'm hoping you guys can see that here. Let me just go back to my OBS. Is I'm Going With You, which is an entire short film that we are shooting with Barry Burton. It's really, really special, and it will just form another piece of content that we will do as part of this campaign. So not only are you going to get that feature-length RE1 prequel, you are going to get a 10 to 15 minute Barry Burton short film. Now, the reason why we can do this is because we can use obviously the funds and the actors that we've already procured with Original Sin and adapt a couple of the locations to make this possible. But it will cost us extra to do this. So that's what we intend to do with the 180k stretch goal launch. And the big one, the biggest one in the room, has to be the intro cutscene remake. 100%, you have my word. We hit 200k and we will remake the Resident Evil 1 intro in full. You know, they're going into the Arkley Forest, Joseph's death, and then running up to the mansion. We are going to 100% remake it with a brand new cast, so it becomes the ultimate turnkey RE1 prequel, because you've got an original story, you've got the Biohazard beginning story, and now you've got the link between the Biohazard beginning story and when Resident Evil 1 starts. Absolutely unbelievable. But it can only happen, guys, if we get it over the line with crowdfunding. Now, we have had, as you can see, if I scroll right to the top here, we have had an absolute lump already. People are hyped for this. This is happening. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Like, this is happening. Well, we can say that with all certainty. We've got over 55 days left. I'm so confident that we are going to get across the line. We've got deals with Indiegogo in place for advertising, etc. Like, this is a huge deal, and I think people are a little bit shy, or they don't want to commit necessarily until they reach the 90%, the 100. We raised like $55,000 on day one. Like, that's insane. Like, for any crowdfunding capacity, that's insane. To put it into perspective, Resurrection raised $20,000 on the first weekend, which was mind-blowing. So the fact we're here is nothing short of unbelievable. It really, really is. So if you want to be part of it, you want to be in the credits, you want to help us bring, like, we've accepted now, and Brandon put it very aptly in the video that I put together for the crowdfund campaign. We may never get an authentic Resident Evil feature film. Like, with Zach Kreger coming out, I'm sure it's going to be an absolutely amazing film. But is it going to be that authentic Resident Evil experience that we all want to see? I don't think that's going to be the case. So it's up to the fans to put this together. And the only way we're going to do it is with your help. And we've had an almighty stab at it so far. So if you want to become a part of it, jump onto the Indiegogo now. I've pinned it in both the Twitch and the YouTube. There's a whole plethora of different perks. It's not like you've just got to donate money and you get nothing out of it except the free film that we put on Row. Like, you can get a Blu-ray copy of the film. You can get a copy of the screenplay. You can get a copy of the soundtrack. You can get early access. So before it goes up on YouTube, you can get it early access, which are amazing that we can facilitate that. We have even got, if you can believe it, we've even got a perk which we will put Original Sin on a VHS, an old school VHS. It's super limited edition, of course. It's not going to be the same print run as the Blu-rays, but yes, it belongs in 1998. The only way we're going to do that is if we put it on VHS. I think that's an amazing perk. So yes, it's happening, guys. I'm just gonna do a cheeky refresh just in case we've picked up a couple more. It's been like trickling throughout the weekend. Yeah, we're still at 374. 186 people have backed this project. Now, from experience, and when I was crowdfunding Keepers Are, I think we got to our third week, and let me tell you, I was absolutely shitting myself. We was on about $25,000, and I said to Andrew, we're on our third week here, like, I'm not sure we fund it, if I'm brutally honest. And then it was one day which we raised like $15,000 in one day, which was an insane amount. Like $15,000 in a day was an insane amount. But I think what happened was people saw it was going to fund and they just started hitting it with momentum, and it just smashed through the other side. So I think that's going to happen again. I think it's inevitable at this point that it will fund. And I think people do have anxiousness about booking it, what's the word I'm looking for? Backing it at an early stage, because they're like, oh, well, I'm not sure. Even they get refunded anyway. They're like, oh, I don't know if I want to commit, but this is happening. Like, we raised like $55,000 in one day. Like, we have 53 days of this campaign left. Like, this is happening, gang. Like, don't wait to the end, because there are so many additional things we want to do. Like, we so want to take advantage of the opportunity that we've been given here. As I said, we want to enhance the production value. We want that Barry Burton short film. Like, that is an unbelievable opportunity to not only have a feature film, but we will also give you supplementary content on top as part of the same campaign if we hit that level. And of course, nothing is without that final perk, $200,000, the RE1 intro remake. That is going to change everything. To see that in live action will be unbelievable. Like, real cinematic stuff, not me and my friends running around with a camera in a field somewhere. Like, no, this is super serious stuff. We've got an amazing cast behind this, an amazing director and DOP behind this. This is happening, and it can only happen without your support, gang. Now, we are going to be watching, moving on to Code Veronica Remake, which was already an unbelievable experience. Code Veronica, Resident Evil Veronica, as it's now known, was announced at Summer Game Fest. Like, it was the first game that dropped. And do you know what? I did say this in the pre-show, because we was live over at the Row. There's very little reason. I know people love to hear my experiences here, and they love to hear my thoughts, but there's very little reason for me to stream at the same time as Row if we're going to be covering the same sort of thing. So I was live at the Row on Friday, and yes, it was amazing. I did have a feeling that they was going to be dropping it first. I knew it was happening today, and it was going to happen on Friday anyway. I just knew it was going to happen. But if you remember from State of Play a couple of years ago, they announced Resident Evil 4 as the first game. So the second you saw the Paris, I was like, it's Code Veronica. Code Veronica was the first part of Code Veronica is set in Paris, so that makes perfect sense. It was absolutely insane, and there's so much we can talk about here. We're going to be playing Code Veronica anyway, guys, as part of the stream. I've got the PS2 emulated version. We've got a good door skip mod as well, so it looks fantastic, and we don't have to look at the door scenes, which is amazing. But the question I want to ask you guys is, what do you think that they're going to change about Code Veronica? Because all I'm seeing here is additions. I'm not seeing any subtractions. Now, we can say, we didn't say that with Resident Evil 3 Remake. We can say that. However, I don't think that's going to be the case. This is the same director and producers, if I'm right in saying, of Resident Evil 2 Remake and 4 Remake. So we're not going to be expected to see it being chopped up to bits. I think we're going to see things reimagined. There are things in Code Veronica that they can definitely streamline. Maybe some of the backtracking's a bit much, if I'm honest, in Code Veronica, as we will find out when we play it. Some of the dialogue, let's be honest, probably has to be updated for modern values. Not me saying it, but I'm sure we can all agree that that's probably going to be the case, whether we like it or not. I'm just so curious to see what they do here. So what we're going to do, gang, we're going to transition over to another screen and we're going to rewatch the trailer. I've got it up from the Residents of Evil. We posted it pretty much straight away. We're going to take it step by step. I might even slow it down because we've all seen the trailer, right? Like I don't need to watch the trailer at full speed. We're going to watch it at half speed or something like that, and we're just going to go through it before we start the stream. So let's get that moving right now. So was it 61? Aha, here we go. So I'm just going to drop the speed here. Oh, by the way, welcome in, everybody. Let me just quickly go through the chat. I really appreciate everyone making time for me today. Always a pleasure to have everyone here at Biohazard Declassified. It's Resident Evil season again. We've got another Resident Evil game coming up. Let's start to get fucking hyped, shall we? Righty. So, huge shout out to everybody in chat. Johnny Boy. Steve Peters is in the chat. Daniel, thank you. Brew, appreciate you. Hypno Heron. Eamon, appreciate you. We just got a ton of people over on the Twitch. We got Joker, the man who keeps the hairline low for me and the beard trimmed. I appreciate you, brother, always. Angelus is in the chat, thank you. Are the prices for posters and DVDs going to go down? Probably not, because you got to think we've got to account for inflation for the next year, and if our suppliers put our prices up, we can't run back to the community to like refund it. Now, one thing that's been kind of a little bit frustrating with this campaign specifically is that I had a meeting, multiple meetings with Indiegogo, like their representatives, you know, kind of setting up a deal for marketing anyway. But the big thing for them was we can't include delivery during the campaign, or shipping, as the Americans call it. We can't include shipping as part of the campaign. So we have to add it after the fact, which to me seems really goofy. Like, I'd rather just set everybody's expectations. Everybody pays it right now. But no, they want us to do it at the end. So I've made it so clear in the campaign that, you know, shipping is not included in the perk. Like, we can't ship it at that value. Otherwise, you know, we're going to run out of funds very, very quickly. But no, I don't anticipate the posters are, I'm sure they're around the same sort of thing as they were on Resurrection anyway. If not for a small, you got to think we launched a campaign for Resurrection 18 months ago. We have to account for inflation across the world. Otherwise, you know, every year things go up, they don't go down. So we have to kind of weigh that up. Sorry, I'm just catching up on comments here just before we go just press play. Yeah, that's one thing actually, Eric's, that I saw the hands and I was like, this is the RE engine. And actually the hallway to the apartment looked like RE9. So yeah, don't be sure. I saw it and I was like, yep, dead giveaway. So actually, one thing that I did see online, I am going to mute this because half speed sounds fucking awful. So one thing, this is a little bit blurry, but one thing you can notice in the distance, there's an umbrella logo just there on the big building in the distance. So we're going to move this on. The one thing that's going to be really annoying, I know they've added all of this to Code Veronica, which I really, really appreciate, but this is going to be really shit if you're a speedrunner. I'm sure people said the same thing about RE9, right? Like going through that whole sequence again. So it was the second I saw the floor tile in here, I was like, that's a clear very similar, or it might even be an asset flip from Resurrection. This was kind of cool. Seeing all this, when I saw this tracking scene here, I was like, man, this is Code Veronica. Aside from the fact it's France as well. So we go into the apartment. By the way, reference straight away to Resident Evil 2. I did post it on Twitter. But yes, the room is very unorganized, and it's reflective of the owner's personality, which is the iconic thing when you click on Chris's desk in the original Resident Evil 2. One thing I did notice here, and again, I knew it was Code Veronica because you see this file down here, which is it's the file from RE2 and 3 remake. So not much here. I think someone said here that there's some steroids, some pills here, and there's a bottle here. So I don't know if that's another reference, maybe. What would have been cool is if that hat said RPD, but I suppose that probably would have given it away. Yeah, I am really shocked they done it at Summer Game Fest and not TGS or Gamescom. So we're just going to move it forward here. So I don't think there was anything that I noticed. Obviously, cigarettes. Maybe the lighter could have said stars on it, but a couple of different types of pills. There's nothing on there that gives away anything. Again, if anyone else has got anything that they've picked up on, let me know in the chat and we'll discuss it. So this was really cool. So she answers the door. And then we have this naughty boy. Now, there has been loads of discourse about this, gang. Loads of discourse. Is that Hunk? Is that not Hunk? I'm going to say, hot take, I think it could be Rodrigo. Because Rodrigo was a USS operative who decided to let Claire out. But I don't know, even though Hunk has intrinsic ties to Rockford Island, I think it. I could be completely crazy, by the way. He does have ties to Rockford Island. There's that file in Code Veronica that you pick up, but I don't think that that's Hunk. On reflection, I think that could be Rodrigo in full USS gear. What's interesting, you've got this forest area now. I don't know what this is in reference to. This might be a brand new area. I'm not familiar with this scene in Code Veronica. So you've got a generator room, not familiar with this. Actually, could that be... Hang on. Could this be the training facility where you find Steve's dad? Maybe. Because you've got a kind of catwalk up there. This is really interesting, guys. So there's a lot of branding around, obviously, Veronica V, but V in Roman numerals is 5. So I think that's really interesting that this is this the 5th remake? I guess it would be. So why use that sort of iconography? We've got an old computer here. It says, please insert your card. A lot of cables everywhere. This, I'm not sure what room this could be. The Dragonfly dead giveaway. It was Code Veronica. Again, dropping Veronica. We've got a dead guy with a pistol here. Looks like a 1911. You've got, this looks like the gate that you open to get out of the prison and across the bridge to get to the facility in the palace. I'm going to catch up on your comments shortly. REV. Oh, it's so interesting the way they frame that. We've got choppers heading towards Rockford Island. The Gold Lugers. That is, I think that's Steve. You've got the Ashford Palace, which looks completely different. Very Resident Evil, though, I must admit. There's Alfred. There's Rockford Island. There's the castle at the top. There's there's a USS Soldier, not confirmed Hunk, but there is a USS Soldier. What the reason why people think it might be Rodrigo is he says the same thing to Claire. that he does in Code Veronica. So let's just listen into that. I think he says "Don't move," which is actually what he says in Code Veronica. Rodrigo says to Code Veronica.
Don't move.
So that could be Rodrigo. Hey Scotty, how's it going? Welcome in. So just watch it at half speed here. Man, Claire looks fantastic in this, doesn't she? Obviously, still using the same model from RE2. I think it's Jordan McEwen, maybe? That's the name. Looks fantastic. Veronica. That's of Let Me Live is back. Veronica. That is interesting. So they've dropped the code in it. So it's just Code Veronica. I mean, to be honest, this does make logical sense because you had Code Veronica X. No one actually said that it was going to be called Resident Evil Veronica. Like, no one said that that could be an option. So I think that's really interesting. I think there's a scene just at the end here that gives a little bit away. So what's interesting, Claire's got the... did she have the necklace on in Code Veronica? This kind of like tracking necklace? I don't remember that. I'm sure we'll find out in a second. I'm sure Stephanie Panicello is back, Lou. Yeah, Ryan, I know you're fairly new to Resident Evil, but this has got a very special place in my heart. I was actually quite emotional watching it because to me, this is the end of an era, to be honest. Like, all of the Resident Evil games from the original run of Resident Evils, the classic tank controls, this one's the last one to be remade and the one that really deserved it the most. Well, actually, not out of the originals, but the one that really needs it, you know? So it's really wholesome that it's kind of... It's not lost media, that's drastic, but there hasn't been a version of Resident Evil Code Veronica that's really satisfied the best way of playing it in 2026. Like, I'm playing it on an emulator with a door skip mod. Like, there hasn't been a classic rebirth for Code Veronica because it's only really come out on PlayStation, Dreamcast. There's no PC port of Code Veronica, which is really frustrating. So to see Code Veronica back in 2026 is absolutely unbelievable, and it's actually quite emotional. What's the difference between Code Veronica and Code Veronica X? Mainly to do with Wesker's cutscenes. I think we can go through it. But I'm pretty sure there's like 12 or 13 minutes of additional cutscenes that have been added to Code Veronica X from Code Veronica from memory. I think we just call this Code Veronica Remake or Veronica or Resident Evil Veronica does a good job. So this is her quite clearly in the prison. That must be the hermostat that you pick up. I actually think this might not be the prison. This might be the area where you pick the hermostat up. No, it has to be the prison, actually, because there's the bars. I don't know what that is. That actually, I think that might be where that dead guy was laying with the handgun, maybe. Yeah, oh yeah, the hairstyle for Leon was changed. Hairstyle for Steve was changed because it looked too much like Leon. And then, yes, zombie feet and lots of zombies. What you can see as well, they've all got that little tracker on them. So that's obviously a warden or a police or a security officer, but you can see their little... They've got the little trackers around their throat, and so does Claire. That is terrifying. 2027. And I've actually got some information about when I think this is going to drop, and actually when we know it's going to drop. I can at least give you a fixed period. So Capcom, in their latest quarterly report for investors, they actually said that they have an unannounced... This was before Summer Game Fest. Again, another reason why we thought it was going to be at Summer Game Fest is they said that they had one more unannounced game that was going to be released before March 2027. So this is going to be coming out Q1 2027. I'm sure they'll have a release date TGS maybe. But yes, I mean, a lot to go off, guys. I'm really, really excited. I don't know about you. What did you guys pick up from the trailer as you was watching it that I've not covered there? Please let me know. This is such an amazing time to be an RE fan. And at the same time, I'm just going to refresh the original Sin perks. Oh, no, it's still at 452. No dramas. The demo, yeah, we got to have a demo this time round. I mean, Requiem didn't have a demo, which was extremely frustrating. So let's hope at TGS we get a demo. So I'm just catching up on comments here. Ah, the cafe in the opening scene means Cafe Umbrella. So Umbrella's got another chokehold on another city. Interesting. Also, that's a good point I haven't mentioned is we are going to get a young Chris Redfield in the RE engine, which is absolutely insane. Looking forward to that. Demo and Code Veronica remake needs more marketing than Requiem got. To be honest, I'm not going to push back on it, but I'm going to say that Requiem had an unbelievable marketing run. Like, I had people talking to me about Requiem that aren't even in the gaming space. Like, everyone at work was talking about Requiem coming out. Oh, you playing that new Resident Evil game that's coming out? That was crazy. Like, I think it had quite a mainstream crossover, and I don't know how that happened, but I thought it did extremely well, Requiem. And actually, we know it did well because it's actually the fastest selling Resident Evil of all time. It's not got the all time like gross volume, but if it continues to track at the level it's at right now, it's probably going to be the top selling Resident Evil game of all time. Pretty sure we're still getting that Claire intro. Tell me a little bit more what that means. They have to do a demo this time round. I think we're in a unique position where there's going to be a lot of people that are new to Resident Evil that didn't play the original Code Veronica. So it's really important that Capcom get a demo out there and gets people in the mood for Code Veronica because it is such a different type of Resident Evil. It's a hardcore old school Resident Evil game. So it's really important that they get a demo out there and they don't hide it. I know why. I have an idea why they didn't do it for Requiem. It's because they didn't want people to data mine it. They didn't want to. They didn't want everything being leaked out there because a couple of elite modders broke the game and figured everything out. You know. Will there be more posters or just the movie one? So I know to get that now or wait. Little bit challenging. We might have like signed. I don't know. I need to take stock of it really. I might get some signed character posters if that's of interest. But yeah, it's going to largely depend. I've got to get them to buy into it as well. I'm sure they will. The actors. We do have a special perk for the RE1 remake. I've done the what's it called? The Stars photo remake. I think that's going to be really cool. The original scene cast in front of the helicopter. We do have a helicopter, so that's going to be really good. Maybe we'll do some character posters. But yeah, they're probably all going to be around the same sort of value, I'd have thought. Nick Castle, thank you for the resubscription for 4 months. Veronica Remake will have us doing a road to remake. It certainly will. And we're going to start today. With that being said, what is that? That's fine. with that being said, I think we should get the ball rolling on Code Veronica. So we are playing the PS2 version. I'm actually going to reset this. Let's reset. Lovely. We're going to go 4x3. There we go. And we're going to get this fucking show on the road, boys. There we go. I'm just going to move myself up there. Capcom did update the Veronica page. Should we have a quick look at that, actually? Before we... I know I'm jumping all over the place, gang, but streaming's been a bit limited because I'm trying to get a feature film off the ground, and it's been so, like, my time has just been absolutely zapped. So I want to try and cover as much as I can. So let's go... Resident Evil Veronica. Oh, man. Type me age in. Better not lie. Okay. Okay, so Switch 2 on launch. That makes perfect sense. Wish list, top of page, trailers, about... Resident Evil Veronica is remake of 2000's Resident Evil Code Veronica. The new title preserves the essence of the original game whilst introducing modernized gameplay, a reimagined storyline, and vividly detailed graphics. In 2027, madness and intrigue, love and hate all combine to create a chilling new entry in survival horror. Characters. Claire Redfield, a college student and survivor of the Raccoon City incident. Oh, we got a brand new render. I've not seen that yet. A college student survivor of the Raccoon City incident. She travels to France in search of her brother Chris, but is captured by Umbrella Special Forces unit and imprisoned on Rockfort Island. So why wouldn't, if it's Hunk, why wouldn't they just say? Rockfort Island, a prison surrounded by open ocean. Once in prison there, escaping unaided is impossible. And they've got some... I think that's a new shot, actually, that one. Oh, this is the bottom of the page, actually. Does this move along, does it? Or... It's not doing anything. So that's kind of cool. So you've got the whole island, the prison, and the palace. So want to see the military facility. Is there anything there that's... A little umbrella pin badge is cool. Oh, hang on. Ah, story. 3 months have passed since the biological disaster in Raccoon City. Claire Redfield, having survived along with Leon S. Kennedy and Sherry Birkin, travels to France in search of her brother Chris Redfield. However, what awaits her is not a reunion with her brother, but the Umbrella Special Forces unit responsible for the incident. They capture Claire and transport her to a mysterious island. Now Claire must make a desperate attempt to escape the remote Rockfort Island, which, due to another biological disaster, has transformed into a living hellscape of survival horror. Oh, that is insane. I mean, obviously, I already know this because I've played Code Veronica many times. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool for new people. So you'll be happy to know, I said this earlier, that we do have a door skip mod. So that's going to cut a lot of time out of this gameplay. And it's running at 60 FPS, excuse me, 60 hertz, and not what it normally is when I play the PS5 version of Code Veronica. This is crazy. Yo. I wonder if we get that remade.
Resident
Epic.
The American Midwestern town, Raccoon City, has been completely decimated due to the T-virus outbreak that was instigated by the international corporation Umbrella. Claire Redfield, who arrived in Raccoon City to search for her lost brother Chris, and a rookie police officer, Leon S. Kennedy, managed to escape from the city. But their ordeal was only a prelude of things to come. Three months later.
Hey, so that's been completely remade. We know that.
Your identification number is WKD4496. Welcome to your new home.
So she doesn't even get... She isn't like...
Her name is Claire Redfield.
Infiltrating anything.
We caught her trespassing in our Paris lab facility 10 days ago.
Like, they
She
actively went and got her.
infiltrated the complex looking for her lost brother, Chris Redfield, one of the surviving members of RPD's famous STARS teams.
This is always pretty sick. Yeah, I mean, Claire did murder like 10 people just then, so maybe this won't happen.
Don't move.
So Rodrigo says don't move, and the USS operative in Remake says don't move. Come on. I'm just saying, it could be. Yeah, why is that never mentioned that Claire just viciously murders a bunch of men? Like, she should absolutely be in prison. The question is, do they start us off in the remake without a gun like they did here, and you got to fight enemies without a pistol? Oh, that's all right then, Lou. As long as all of them weren't killed, it's just grievous bodily harm now. She's a menace, man. Okie dokie. Oh, this feels so much better to play than the PS5 version. If you don't know, the European version of the PlayStation 5 plays at 50 hertz, so it's slow as hell. This is super responsive. This looks sharp, man. Probably the best way to play Code Veronica, to be honest. With the door skip mod, of course.
Perfect. Go on. Get out of here. This place is finished. I don't know, it might have been a special forces
But
team.
honestly, guys,
But in any case, this prison's been taken over.
I'll let you watch this.
Troops have been wiped out.
What are you saying?
You're free to leave the complex.
Yes, PS2 emulated.
But you may as well know you have no chance of getting off this island.
And what about you? What are you going to do?
Don't worry about me.
So, yes. Oh, man, this feels so good to play. Oh, it feels like playing this from the PS5 version feels so sluggish. Rodrigo Juan Raval. So, can we read that again? The escort name is at the end of the document. Umbrella Medical, Paris 3rd Unit Security Leader, Rodrigo. To me, that absolutely confirms that that is not Hunk in the trailer. That is Rodrigo. Let me know what you guys think of that. So I just realised. Oh, so 5. Oh, no. Fuck. One moment, gang. Is it in, yeah. So I actually do want to do a quick clip for my so I know this is like really I'm going to say the exact same thing again, but I do want to do a clip for after the stream for the socials. Right. I'm going to do that again. So this makes me think that this makes me think that it's not Hunk that grabs Claire in the Resident Evil Code Veronica remake. Because if you look at this document, it's a list of prisoners, the name at the end, Claire Redfield, the escort's name is at the end of the document, Umbrella Medical, Paris, Third Security Unit Leader, Rodrigo Juan Raval. So he was already in Paris stationed and now he's on Rockford Island. I think that USS operative, for the avoidance of doubt, is Rodrigo and not Hunk. This could be a huge call this early in development, certainly this early in the reveal. We move on. Okie dokie. Man, this feels so good to play. See this door scene skip? Love that. Oh, it feels so good to play. She's running so quick. This is all gone. Oh. Playing without door scenes is terrific. Interesting to see what the Bandersnatchers look like. Well, looking forward to that. There we go. I don't like the way cutscenes are in this game. Like, they just pop out of nowhere outside of the engine. Like, it does this. Why does it do this? Just stay in the engine. Also, Tony, the fact that he says exactly the same words as Rodrigo is a telling sign. Oh, fuck off, wanker. I've changed my mind. I hate this game. But yes, just the fact that he says don't move, to me says that that's Rodrigo.
Wait, don't shoot.
Who are you?
Huh? You're not a zombie. Well, great. We're right there.
Wee, don't shoot.
Over.
I hope this guy's a lot less annoying. I mean, they did kind of make him better in the Darkside Chronicles.
Sorry about that
Sorry.
little misunderstanding. But I thought you were another one of those
Shut up. Make one wrong move and I'll shoot.
Relax, beautiful. I said I was sorry. My name's Steve. I was a prisoner on this island. And I'm guessing you're not from Umbrella either.
No, I'm Claire. Claire Redfield.
Claire? Nice. I'll remember that. Hey, I heard there's an airport around here. And once I find it, I can finally escape from this crazy island. I'll see ya.
Hey, wait up.
I don't want you following me, lady.
You'll almost slow me down.
You'll only slow me down.
Okie dokie, Dr. Jones. Let's get this show on the road. This game's so much more playable with outdoor scenes. You know, it's fun doing it the first time around, but when this is like the millionth time you've played this game, it feels so much smoother to play. Hey, don't want you following me, lady. Oh. Sometimes you've just got to hit him with that. Oh. Yeah, that's another thing, Luz. There's very specific contextual cutscene, door scenes in this game, which are even longer. Like you're going up a set of stairs and it's even slower, and it's like, it's like, oh man, get up the fucking stairs, bro. I wonder if anyone's done a HD texture pack in this game. Oh, gotta go. So what's really cool about this game, and not a lot of people know, is this was the first Resident Evil game to have fixed camera angles, but dynamic fixed camera angles. Sounds like an oxymoron, but it's fixed camera angles, but the camera still moves with Claire, as you can see here. You see how the camera is moving? It's not fixed like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. However, this wasn't the first game to do this by Capcom. The first game to do this by Capcom was actually Dino Crisis, which was in a full 3D space, and it had this kind of moving fixed camera. It's very bizarre. It's like a camera on a dolly almost. Always loved this about Code Veronica. I think Outbreak also had this camera angle. Aaron, how are you? We are playing this on PCSX2, which is the PlayStation 2 emulator. A few modifications. We've got it running at 4K. I've not got a texture pack on it. I'm just playing it vanilla. We're playing the US version, so it's a little bit quicker than PAL. And we've got a door skip mod on. So that is taking the sting out of a lot of these corridors. But some people call this one of the best Resident Evil games ever made, so it's got a very, very high reputation. The only thing there's two things that people don't like about Code Veronica. One is that there's not a native PC version where you can have a lot of the quality of life upgrades that we're used to. Tactical reload, door skips, etc. That pisses people off a lot. The second one is the backtracking in this game. It is insane. The backtracking is so long. Mr. North Shore! Let's fucking go, Daddy. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you dropping by. Gonna need to know your immediate thoughts following the drop of Resident Evil Veronica, the Code Veronica remake. And yeah, your thoughts, your analysis, everything, bro. So lay it all on me. As much as I would love that, Nate, I think that fixed camera angles are just such a bygone era. It's cool, but they're just not a thing anymore. I think they're a product of their time. I'm actually going to skip this because any cutscene with Steve makes me want to kill myself, so I'm just going to jog him on. And remember, guys, I'm going to be talking about this a lot, and I do apologise, but it's a project I'm very passionate about. Remember, we are doing a Resident Evil 1 prequel film. Crowdfunding right now, just like we did with Keeper's Diary, just like we did with Resurrection. We've got a brand new director, brand new cinematographer, the fucking real deal, boys, let me tell you. They've come directly from George A. Romero's Resident Evil documentary, which, if you listen to Brandon talk about this at length, that was basically a calling card, you would say, or certainly a blueprint for how they would shoot a Resident Evil 1 film. Now we're shooting a Resident Evil 1 prequel film, so if you watch the documentary and some of the B-roll scenes, that's exactly what the film's going to look like. Very special. The top 3 influences of Original Sin Prelude to Biohazard, outside of Biohazard the Beginning, which is obviously what the story is based on, the 1997 novella, the top 3 references or inspirations visually of Original Sin: Day of the Dead, 1985, Night of the Living Dead remake from 1990, and this one might shock you, the first season of the 1993 X-Files. Those are the 3 things, outside of course, George A. Romero, by extension. Visual, tonally, some of the Halloween has a certain shooting style. John Carpenter movies have that certain look. We want to try and capture that too. So Tom Robinau is going to do an amazing job bringing this film to life, let me tell you. All the pieces are pretty much there or thereabouts now. We officially announced our Barry actor. I don't know if you guys saw that. That was a really hard role to cast, let me tell you, because we had to not only get someone that looked a lot like Barry. Oh yeah, let me pop this in. That looks a lot like Barry, that actually has the acting chops to do it, because what we're getting Barry to do in Original Sin is a lot more involved than Original Sin. Again, if we fully get paid up with all the stretch goals, there's a whole short film dedicated to Barry. So you're effectively, if we fully fund, you're effectively getting 2 films for 1. which is amazing. It's only a short film, appreciated. Original Sin's a feature film, but you're getting 2 films for the price of 1. So, lot to play for, and we have the right man who's going to take us to the promised land. I didn't really think of anything, to be honest, Mark. The Anderson movies have their niche, and I'm not part of that niche. Now, what I do want to say is I will be on a podcast on Wednesday, so I'm not going to be streaming on Wednesday. I'll be back on Sunday, but I'm doing a podcast on Wednesday with the Horror Hangout podcast, and we are going to be talking about Original Sin, of course, but we're also going to be talking about Paul W.S. Anderson's Resident Evil Apocalypse, which is a really interesting title. I hope you guys, once it drops, it's not a live podcast, but once it drops, I hope you guys check it out. We're just going to be, analysing it, talking about it, all that sort of fun stuff. So, I'm probably going to watch Apocalypse tomorrow just to refresh my memory on things, but I'm looking forward to that podcast. The Horror Hangout guys are amazing. They've been very, very charitable with their time with Original Sin. I've already been on their podcast once, and this is a good opportunity to do it again. I'm going to be... I'll come back to you, Chai. I do want to say a couple of bits. Nice. I like how they're still beheading people in 1998 on this island. It's kind of sickening when you think about it. Looking forward to seeing all of this, like, brutal body horror in Code Veronica remake. Yeah, it's going to be really special, Mr. Nice Try. Again, we've got a brand new team. Well, so far as is reasonable. We've got a different director. Anthony's not returning. Andrew Sorlo's not returning. We've got Brandon Salisbury. We've got Tom Robinall. JJ's, again, part of the project as he was previously. Because obviously it's going on the road, so kind of has to involve JJ to an extent. But yeah, I'm excited. This is all going to be shot in Pennsylvania, which is Romero country, as we know. I have a great story about Original Sin, actually. So, Brandon had actually written Original Sin, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. There's actually a post on his Facebook, I believe, where he shared, like, the original concept for Original Sin. Original concept for Original Sin. Said that 3 times. Have I forgotten something? No, I've got it. Where he shared his concept for Original Sin, like the first script, and he wanted someone to just make it, basically. He said, I'm probably not going to be able to make it. And we was just talking, like, 3 or 4 months ago, before we went to the screening for Resurrection. And I just said, and he just said, like, oh, yeah, I really want to develop Original Sin again. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember seeing that on your Facebook, like, what your thoughts around it. And he was like, okay, I'm going to do a refined script. I want to get it to you. Let me know what you think. So he did, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can see the potential here. Obviously, it's got to be refined a lot more, but I can see the potential. What do you want to make this happen? Because, like, me and Brandon have been talking for a long, like, last couple of years, and I was like, do you want to make this happen? And he was like, yes. I said, well, there isn't a crowdfunding film that's coming up on the row in the short term, certainly in 2026. So I said, if we're going to capitalise on this, Resurrection has done amazing. People have been blown away with what we've done with Resurrection. I appreciate with a different director and a different team. But I think, we can leverage the producing that I did on The Keeper's Diary, the the directing that Brandon did on George A. Romero's Resident Evil documentary, there's something here. There is like some really talented creatives involved. We have to make this happen. You know, weapons. The trailer for the Resident Evil films come out, and it's still not an authentic Resident Evil film. So this is our time. Like this.
Any metallic items you have
This book
in the
exists, bro.
security box.
Like this exists. By the way, huge shout out to Resident Evil Japan on Instagram, who very kindly sent me the. Let me blow this up for you. This is amazing. This is amazing. So I'm just gonna blow this up for you. I don't really want to take it out, but I feel like I'm gonna have to. This is from 1997. It's flawless. This copy of the true story behind Biohazard is flawless. I'm going to do my best to kind of preserve it as much as I can, because there is not a scratch on this book. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Now, the Japanese, I think they read right to left, kind of like Arabic, but they've got a little bit here. It tells you the number, actually, of copies. This is pristine. Like, I'm convinced that some of these pages have never even been turned before. So you've got George Trevor's notes and a very cool artwork of the mansion. So I can't read Japanese, so I can't read it to you. You got some of the kind of game design of the main hall and some of the rooms. Some more there. The armory room, researcher's room, etc. The piano room. This is a Japan exclusive, so this book was released in 1996. Well, this says 1997, so it was launched in 1997, and I think it was mail order in Japan. Like, you couldn't get this outside of Japan. They did end up translating it to English, and it was called Resident Evil the Book. But again, they've got more stuff here. All concept art of Resident Evil 1, as you can see. Oh, no, I didn't open it. Like, that's just a special protective thing I was given. But no, I've not, like, unsealed it or anything. Storyboard from Biohazard. So you got the Cerebus and the zombie there. It's pretty cool. And the most important thing, Biohazard the Beginning, which is the novel that we are basing Original Sin on. And it's actually got all the characters there from Original Sin. Brad Vickers, Joseph Frost, Albert Wesker, Barry Burton. Who is that on the corner? Rebecca Chambers. Jill Valentine, and of course Chris Redfield, all in the original concept art. Very, very cool. And like, the novel is in yellow for some reason. Or it's like in part yellow and part colour. It's kind of strange. I don't know why that is. Maybe someone's got a reason for that in the chat. But it is kind of... There are a couple of illustrations in here. Let me just see if I can get a page for you. So this is where Chris gets the call from Billy Rabbitson and goes to the Victory Road. So there are a couple of illustrations. We are changing a few things of Biohazard at the beginning to... You've got to think this book was written before Resident Evil 2 came out, so there's been a lot of lore fixes that we will implement in Original Sin, just to make it make a little bit more sense. You've got Barry and Wesker here. It's kind of cool. Having a mild disagreement. Again, this bridges the gap between the Arkley Mountain murders and the them going into the mansion. So there's Mr. Johnson and Chris Redfield. I've not announced who I've casted Mr. Johnson, but Mr. Johnson is casted. You'd be happy to know. Is there any more illustrations for you guys? I think there was a little bit later. There's Billy Rabbitson. Looking very, very deceased. No, I don't think so. I think SD Perry did... use a couple of details from this, but I don't think they're intrinsically tied in. You got Joseph and Wesker there. It's kind of cool. And then you got them all kind of preparing to go in the chopper to go to the mansion, or the forest, excuse me. This looks unbelievable. Words from the producer. Amazing. So yeah, that's the back cover, by the way. You got the two crests. So I know this feels really weird if you're in the Western world, but the back of the book is actually the front of the book because they read right to left and not left to right. That really spun me out. I was like, oh, that's cool. Why am I starting on page 158? And I realised, oh yeah, it's actually back to front. So let me just pop this back. Once again, I'll do a post for this, but I just want to say thank you to Martin. Resident Evil Japan on Instagram has one of the most amazing collections in Resident Evil in the space, and he very kindly sent this to me because he saw I was doing Original Sin. Thank you so much, Martin. I'm actually going to take a picture for my socials. I want to put that up at some point. Right, let me get this away. REV hype indeed. I'll hit you up later with my thoughts on everything. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying to get this in. I want to rip it. There we go. There we go. And that is going to be sealed up and looked after for the foreseeable future. Thank you very much, Martin. Okie dokie, right, so little trick here for you because these enemies will burst in. So what you got to do, you've got to run over here, pick this up.
Please deposit any metallic items you
Oh
have
shit, hang on.
in the
You're looking at me.
security box.
Let me sort that out. There we go. Sorry about that, game. You're looking at my mannerisms. That was weird. Let's never do that again. So, easiest way of doing this is you've got to go back through here with metal, so it triggers the security system, drops the shutters. It may seem weird, but just do it. What you want to do now is you want to now do this 3D model. Like an early 3D printer indeed. So now, you want to pop the flame rounds in here. You want to turn this back on, and sure enough, it's going to be nice and empty. You ain't got to worry. Easy as. You've not got to dodge enemies, you've not got to take damage, you've not got to kill anyone. Easy as a motherfucker. Serving Zombies, how's it going? Are you going to play the Halloween game when it comes out? No. And I was actually really frustrated. To me, I know there's a market for it, gang. I know Dead by Daylight has surpassed all expectations. But to me, horror games are kind of single-player experiences. They're not competitive multiplayer experiences. So I was blown away when I saw the announce of a new Saw game. I was like, holy shit, Saw is back. Looking forward to that. But then I find out it's 3 versus 1 asymmetric multiplayer. Like, obviously I'm not going to shit on people that love multiplayer games. But like, I don't like live service games. I like single player experiences. So to see like... To see that was kind of disappointing. I think the Halloween game is the same. If it's not, I'm open to being surprised. Lovely. So we're probably going to be live for another probably hour and a half. So appreciate everybody dropping by. If this is the first time you're checking us out, my name's Andy. This is Biohazard Declassified. We are talking all things Resident Evil Veronica, the brand new Resident Evil Code Veronica remake, as well as the feature-length Resident Evil prequel film I am making on the Residents of Evil with Brandon Salisbury and co. So if you love Resident Evil, you want to see an authentic Resident Evil experience, we're doing it by the fans, for the fans. Link is in the pinned comment. Please check it out. We've got a whole bunch of different perks for you to subscribe to, etc. Yeah, precisely that, Mark. Precisely that. Like, again, I'm not going to shit on people that love asymmetric multiplayer games. There's a market for those types of people. Like, 2 seconds. They're just not my. It's just not my type, you know. Same as when they do the Fortnite crossovers. It's like, yeah, it's kind of cool, I guess, but like, I'm not absolutely blown away by it. Oh, his hat fell off. Oh. Yeah, you're probably right, Krill, actually. Horrific details seeing dogs climb stairs in this game. Oh! Yeah. I'm sure, like, we know Resident Evil can work as a multiplayer game. Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, and the Outbreak games. So, if they're going to do it, let's do it. I'll come back to it, Lou. It's one of the proofs. I think it's NTC 039. It might be UTC. So I'm just going to quickly pop in here and grab the Duralumin cat. Oh, no, I can't. Bollocks. Is it wrong? I want to see a remake version of Steve. No, absolutely not. I think we all do, to be honest. I think it's going to be more in line with the Dark Side Chronicles version of Steve, which is a lot less annoying. I'm actually going to be using the MT100p for this first part of the game because I really like them. I really hope these return. Man, the door skip is a game changer. By the way, super easy to set up. You just need PCSX2 and then it's like a patch you can download. Really easy. You're probably wondering why I put my lighter on. It's because bats are scared of light. They won't come near you. It's a red herb here. Yeah, I hope they're returning. Cool outfit. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I'd love to know from you guys, what are you expecting to see in Original Sin? Obviously, I'll take it you've seen the crowdfund video, you've seen the campaign. What are you expecting to see in Original Sin? I want to know your thoughts, because, you know, it's by fans for fans. I want to take your thoughts into consideration too. We're at, oh man, this is crazy. $68,000. 188 backers have already backed the project, which is unbelievable. And again, just to put into perspective, I said it earlier in the stream, we raised $55,000 on day one. Like, that was more than the Keeper's Diary budget combined, like complete. So that's pretty special. Also, it's absolutely fantastic playing this game on a 60-inch TV. It's like right there. It looks beautiful. It looks amazing. Oh. Yeah, help me. Steve.
Yeah! Help me!
Steve?
Yeah, I hear a lot of people say that actually, Krell. So, I was a full producer on Keeper's Diary. I wasn't so much on Resurrection. I was more of a crowdfund manager, and I did a bit of directing for some of the smaller sequences. There's a scene where Pablo Kuntz, the original Wesker, is talking about a painting. So that was shot in the UK with me and my DOP. Very, very happy about that shoot. Obviously very limited compared to the scope of Resurrection, but I think people want to see. Resurrection was a really cool concept, but I think people really want to see a back to form survival horror film the way we want to see it, in the vein of Keeper's Diary. Keeper's Diary was an amazing project to be a part of, and that was a real moment in time. So I like to think of this project, I've said this very consistently, that I want it to be like Keeper's Diary on steroids.
Redfield! How dare you interfere with my operation?
What are you talking about?
You let yourself be captured so you could lead your people to this base.
I have no idea what you're babbling about.
You don't fool me! I am Alfred Ashford, commander of this base.
Oh? You must be one of Umbrella's lower level officers if you're in command of a backwater base like this one.
How dare you!
Who are you? What are you doing
Ashford
here?
family is among the world's first.
Can't wait
and
to see this scene.
finest. My grandfather is one of the original founders of Umbrella Inc. Now tell me, why have you attacked this installation?
Attacked?
Shortly after you arrived, my base was attacked. You must have informed your people of its location.
I still don't follow you. I really don't know anything about that.
Unacceptable! How can you deny it? My base has been destroyed. And thanks to you, the experimental T-virus...
I do have my fan on, guys, so let me know if it's coming through.
Zombies and monsters. Tell me, who do you work for? Who sent you? Have it your way, then. You're just a rat in a cage anyway. I'll be sure to keep you entertained before I dispose of you.
Yeah, we have a lot of... One thing that's really special about Original Sin is you will literally see, and this is like independent of what was in Biohazard at the beginning, you'll see like the dynamic of stars, like everyone's individual personalities, which is really important. So I'm going to leave that for now. Let's jump on this. Looking forward to seeing all this as well. Going into the water. Get the side pack, cannot forget that. I like how she said RPD on it, that's interesting. Pretty sure it said RPD on it. Okie dokie. Yeah, the island's going to be grimy and dilapidated as fuck. I'm sure they will. Oh. So the one thing that's annoying with Claire is that she can aim at like 2 different enemies, and it becomes really annoying. See how she can aim at 2? They can get further and further apart. Really cool feature, But like sometimes you just want to focus on one, but she's like trying to shoot both. If you press L1, she actually does focus it. She can focus it on one enemy, which is so helpful. But I really appreciate everyone checking the stream out today. Thank you for making time to catch up with us, man. I know I've not been the most consistent streamer. As you can appreciate, it's all kind of all hands on deck at the moment, trying to get this film together, and you know, obviously working full time as well and being a dad. There's only so much time I can dedicate to pushing something out there, and you know, Original Sin is a once in a lifetime opportunity, so I'll try and keep as consistent as I can, but I also want to produce something that leaves a legacy too. I hope everybody understands that. So one thing that's going to be nice is, don't think we're going to have to worry about ink ribbons as much. It'll probably have an auto-save system, like it always does. So, go this way, pick these two up. That's, might get lucky here, but I don't want to speak too soon. Oh, I'm fucking this up. Fucking this up. Oh! Whoa! Let's go! Oh! That could have been catastrophic, but... Hey, we got our first donation to Original Sin in the chat from the Mindmaster 101. Thank you kindly for that. We are now at 68,617, closing in on 200 backers. Remember, guys, you don't have to get a Blu-ray. You can just back the project from as little as $10. The $25 does give you a backer credit. So when the credits roll, your name is going to be in there in black and white for everyone to see as the donator to make this film possible. So thank you once again to Mindmaster for that donation. And you're going to be getting a cheeky one of these, man. You're going to be getting one of these when the film is finished. I really appreciate that. Okay, dokie, what are we doing now? So we've got the Biohazard card. That means we are going off to the training facility. Ooh. Yeah, so we do have one thing we're not going to be doing on this one so much is, and it's made the campaign a little bit more difficult, is we're not relying on legacy actors, so to speak. Like, all actors are in their 1998 roles, so we won't have, unfortunately, Charlie Kraslavsky, Greg Smith, Linda, Eric Pirius on the front line, kind of helping us get to the promised land, basically. It's all going to be kind of boots on the ground, original actors that are playing these characters. So, for example, Cody Nicholson is now Chris Redfield. Cody was in Resurrection, very talented, and he is going to be the man to lead the film. He's very special talent. Annie Roig is back as Jill. Looking forward to seeing Annie Roig as Jill again. We've got who else have we got? Austin Green as Joseph Frost. Joseph is going to have a very, very important role on this. Oh, this is going to be so badass in the remake, bro. So badass. Scott, I just realised you're in the chat. I'm so sorry, brother. Huge shout out to Scott in the chat, who is fucking Brad. We got Brad Vickers in the chat. We got Chad himself, Chad Vickers. Chicken Art Vickers, who is actually one of the last people to be cast. So, thank you, Scott, and again, thank you for your producing credits on the campaign. I'm sure you can speak for everyone of the unbelievable speed that the campaign has been hitting at the moment. I'm sure it will plateau, and we'll do our best to keep the momentum up. But it's been super hot. Yeah, dude. I know when you're in the pilot seat, you'll be getting the fuck out of Dodge, man. But yeah, so we've got Scott Dempsey as Brad, which we're very happy with. Thank you. Oh, shit. Oh. That was close. Which we're super happy with. Thank you. That's more funny, actually. I'm trying to think of something really, really funny to reply to you, Matt, but I couldn't think of anything. Yeah, I mean the PS3 version's kind of goofy as hell, to be honest. Because yes, it's widescreen, native widescreen as well, which is beautiful. But it's still not. It's got this horrific like bloom filter, and makes everything look orange. Just looks shit. So it's like halfway there, you know. Probably the best version to play though if you've only got consoles. Yeah, man, I'd love to get to 70k before we wrap the stream up today. I think it's ambitious, but man, it's plodding along. It's plodding along. Speaking of naked zombies, Matt, look at the dudes we got in here. Oh shit! Let's get out of it. It looks better than this, like aesthetically, yes, it looks better. I think they've had changes to the lighting as well. But the blue, if you could take off the color grading, the bloom filter they've got on, it'd probably be the definitive port of the game. But it just makes everything so dark and you can't fucking make anything out. I don't think Hunk. Obviously, Hunk is referenced in Code Veronica because of the file that I'll try and find when I do get to it. But I don't think that's Hunk that abducts Claire. I think it's Rodrigo, because he says the same thing that Rodrigo says. And actually, if you read the file at the start of this game, it says that Rodrigo was in Paris and he was stationed in Paris. So it makes sense if it was him that was the one that abducted Claire. Yeah, I was losing my mind, Ryan. Absolutely losing my mind. I was really shocked that they put it on first. But just to see, like, I got a little bit emotional, I ain't going to lie to you, because, like, Code Veronica just has such a special place for me. I've such fond memories of watching my parents play it, and... Oh. I feel like this is the last game that needs to be remade. I got you, bro. We'll fill you up with a ton of Big Macs, lather you up in baby oil, and push you out there. Hey, we got fucking Brand Dawn of the Dead in the chat. We're just picking away at the Original Sin crowdfund numbers. Just speaking at, we're just talking about how expedited. I mean, we're only like, it's going to be a week tomorrow that we launch the campaign, and we are 68% funded of the initial funds, which is absolutely insane. So shout out to everybody in the chat that has donated so far. Brandon, what has been your experience seeing this campaign just fucking hit the ground running? Obviously, it's not over till it's over. Resurrection, I think it was around 30 or 40. I think it was around 30,000 in the first week. So to see, I mean, we literally got the entire Keeper's Diary crowdfund campaign raised on day one for Original Sin. That shows you the hype that's behind this project. And I know people are a little bit reticent and they're anxious about projects like this. Are they going to go ahead? Are they in the right hands? Well, this is the third time I'm doing this. You know, it's not my first rodeo. You know, I've gone through all of the battles of crowdfunding on the previous projects, so have faith in that. As part of the row, of course, this is our third time doing this. Brandon is a time-served director and has produced an amazing documentary. And if you actually watch George A. Romero's Resident Evil documentary, it's a blueprint. Like the B-roll that's in it is a blueprint to what you're going to see in Original Sin. So if you like what I've shared and you like what's in the announcement videos of the B-roll that's in it, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see this Day of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead remake, X-Files-esque visual aesthetic, which I think you guys are really going to like. I mean, I was absolutely spaffing in my jeans when, you know, Brandon and Tom were talking about how Original Sin was going to look, how it was going to pace. And obviously, I've read Original Sin back to front now, so it's the real deal. You guys are really going to like it. And again, as Brandon very well retorted at the start of that video, the announcement video, we may never get an authentic Resident Evil adaptation. And look, in September, we're going to get another Resident Evil adaptation from Zach Kreger. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be good. But is it going to be the Resident Evil that you guys know? Like, when you think of Resident Evil, you know what you think of. You think of stars. You think of Raccoon City. You think of the corruption of Umbrella. You think of the isolation of abandoned locations. You think of the T-Virus. You think of Wesker, etc. You think of the RPD corruption. All of this is in Original Sin Prelude to Biohazard. And that's why this project is so special. It really is like a combination of so many talented people's creatives to to put together just an unbelievable, a potentially unbelievable production. But it can't happen without everybody's support. So from as little as $10, you can support Original Sin and help us get to the promised land. And in return, we will produce to you a not-for-profit, free of charge Resident Evil film that you want to see, that's better in line with what fans expect from a Resident Evil adaptation. It's a prequel to the first game, Ryan. It's a prequel to the first game, and it's based on literature that already exists, which I've got right here, actually. It's Biohazard, the true story behind Biohazard. There's a novella in here, a short story, which bridges the gap between the Arkley Mountain murders and the STARS team entering the mansion. This came out in 1996, 1997, and it's an original story, an original prequel to Resident Evil. We're adapting this into a feature-length film. Yeah, 69,000 is crazy in the first week, bro. Like, I don't think like actual films do this. So to see a fan film do this is unbelievable. By the way, Emmy, thank you so much for the resubscription over on Twitch. That's certainly appreciated. Welcome back in. Eternally grateful. Yeah, Brandon brings up a good point. This is the first time every member of Alpha Team will be seen together in live action. Also, I do think it's weird on reflection that Rebecca has a desk in the STARS room when she's not an Alpha Team member. We'll leave that for another debate, though. I'm going to keep that as it is for right now. We'll probably run for another hour or so. I do need to take a piss, though. I'm absolutely dying.
Welcome, Claire. Consider the area you are in a...
So Brandon might have a little bit more knowledge on this, but I know Billy Rabbitson is mentioned in the S.D. Perry novels, but I do believe that S.D. Perry had read Biohazard at the beginning before. I think that came first, but I could be mistaken. Yeah, we must stress that as well. We love producing CG for The Keeper's Diary, and I'm sure Andrew and the gang loved doing CG for Resurrection, but everything in Original Sin is going to be practical effects. We're going back to proper horror filmmaking with practical effects, and we have got some unbelievably talented FX artists, some even trained under the one and only Tom Savini. So real good opportunities here to again produce a Resident Evil film that we all want to see. We all want to see happen. We all want to see what the STARS team were doing before they entered the mansion. We want to see what impact the Arkley Mountains murders had on the police and how they overcame that and what their processes and investigation were doing to get them to the mansion incident. Yeah, I think I've put the Blu-ray release at like July 27, just to give us a bit of time for Tom and Brandon to do their thing. So the funding goes 100k. That gets you effectively the base. That gets you base Original Sin. Let me take this dude out first, and I'll come back to you. So 100k gets you the base level Original Sin. You've then got 2 individual production upgrades, which are all to do with practicals on some of the monsters that you're going to see in it, and a really big event that happens towards the end of the game, which we've got like an initial idea for it, which is going to be amazing, but we want to turn it up to 11. And to do that, we're going to need a little bit more funding to get it over the line. We're also going to be doing the exclusive screening again. We're going to be doing that in Pennsylvania this time. Location to be announced, but we're really, really looking forward to that. So I think that's like 150,000. Then we've got the umbrella. We've got an umbrella scene where two of the characters pick up an umbrella tape, and it's kind of the initial outbreak in the Spencer Mansion, the kind of scientists working on the Cerebus. We're going to shoot that. We're going to shoot that as kind of found footage, and that's going to make up another stretch goal. Excuse me. And the two big ones are right at the end. One of them is an entire Barry Burton short film. Yes, we're going to be doing a short film inside of Original Sin, which is dedicated to Barry Burton. I think you guys are really, really going to like that. It gives another piece of supplemental content for Original Sin. You know, we've got the cameras, we've got the locations. Obviously, we're going to need that increased production to cover the actors and the additional crew to shoot this short film. But I think you're really going to like it. Brandon's got a really, really good idea for it. That's going to make up the 200k, the 180k, and then you've got the finale, the boss battle of stretch goals, and that is we are going to remake the Resident Evil 1 introduction in Original Sin. Like, boom. We're recreating the entire intro again in the forest leading up to the mansion. So you have got the perfect turnkey story that details the Arkley murders all the way to the start of Resident Evil 1. Boom. Let's fucking make it happen. This is an absurd scene, by the way. I wonder if they bring this back. I actually can't remember.
Oh yeah, that felt good.
I can't remember how the outbreak happens on Rockfort Island. Someone fill me in, because I genuinely cannot remember. Oh shit. Yo, what? If you press L1, he crosses it. I don't know how I just did that then. Look at that. He crosses them. That's absurd. Oh. Bro was next to it and still didn't die. Maybe it was Wesker related. That's a good point, Biohazard. Is this the first time we're going to get dual-wielded weapons in Remake Resident Evil? I'm pretty sure it is. I can't think of any other weapon off the top of my head that's dual-wielded in the remake games.
It was dirty work, but this area is now clean.
No, we're definitely getting the father scene, 100%.
See?
I can't!
Depend on me.
No!
You see? This thing is a lot more reliable than any person.
Than people? Steve, what were you doing here? Who brought you here? And where is your family?
Shut up!
We don't want to talk about
Talk about it!
it. Don't want to talk about it.
Steve.
Steve.
Never mind. Let's get going.
Oh, Brandon, could you do me a favour, actually? I don't know what you're doing within the next day, but can you do me a short video? Like, square on, can be shot vertical if you want. Just talking about you're really happy with this progress, please. I'll put it up within the next day or so. But yes, I've got the privilege of going on the Horror Hangout podcast on Wednesday. I don't know when it's actually going to air. I'm imagining pretty shortly thereafter. It might even be live, I'm not sure. But we're talking about everything Resident Evil Apocalypse. We're probably going to talk a lot about Original Sin 2. So that's the Horror Hangout podcast. They've already had me on there before. But yeah, we're talking about Apocalypse because it's like the closest Resident. They're doing a series on horror films. Or horror adaptations, I think. So I'm looking forward to that. I love them guys. They're cool people.
Claire,
Very valid.
are you okay?
There are 2 holsters.
Steve, behind you!
Steve. I love this cutscene so much. It's the only zombie that's got ginger hair, so it must be his dad. No.
What's wrong, Steve? Shoot him!
Wait! I can't! No!
Steve! No! Ah!
Father!
Steve.
Steve.
Father. Father. Father.
No.
Dad used to work for Umbrella. Tried to steal information.
I wonder if they keep this
Trying to sell
backstory.
it off to the highest bidder. He was caught. Mom was killed.
So
Never
did
sent
they live on the island, or did they live in Paris? Like,
Oh,
how did the prisoners
Steve.
get here?
He was a fool to do something so reckless. So stupid.
It's okay now. Just rest.
All I'm thinking is, how do they get to this island from Paris? It says it's in the South Pacific Ocean. How far is that from? South Pacific Ocean. How the fuck did they get there from France? Because that is very remote. No. Oh, let's not use that. I think it was Rodrigo, Ryan. He says the same things as Rodrigo in the remake trailer, and also there's a file at the start of this game which said that Rodrigo was stationed in Paris. So I think that's the link. That's the intrinsic link that says that is Rodrigo and not Hunk. Yeah, I can't see if they've got helicopters flying at the start, but I don't think helicopters can cover that sort of distance. You'd have to get there on a cargo plane of some kind. I think people forget that, actually, Raccoon City Pizza, is that Code Veronica is... I know people say, oh yeah, it's the true Resident Evil 3. We know that it was... RE3 was always designed as... we need to go upstairs, do we not? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, RE3 was... what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, no, we don't. We have to go round. Like, to me, this is a direct sequel to Resident Evil 2. Rather than RE3. I know RE3 technically is a sequel to Resident Evil 2, but this is the ultimate evolution in Resident Evil. Like, look, if you look at Resident Evil 1, then you look at Resident Evil 2, like, it's such a big jump in, like, storytelling and game design, etc. I like to think that Code Veronica does the same for RE2. Hey, Damien, the fucking boy. How's it going, lad? Great to have you in the chat. We gotta go. Oh, yeah, Damien actually works with helicopters. If it's a C-130, I don't think a helicopter makes the trip from France to the South Pacific Islands, though. It just seems way too far. Oh yeah, a cargo plane probably would. But like, we're wondering how they got the Claire from Paris to the South Pacific Islands. Has to be a cargo plane of some kind. Or maybe Umbrella have like another intermediate place which is local to the South Pacific Islands. Right, so we've got that now. Lovely. I am full of shit, though, so let me go back this way. We might actually get rid of this card soon. Valid point, Damien. Completely forgot about that. Just going to swap to the normal pistol now. Just got it burning through ammo a little bit. Dude, Alexander Ashford is going to look unbelievable. Wonder what that boss fight looks like. Will you be able to do it with a knife again? So we'll need to go back through this. Still a little bit more we need to do in this part of the facility. Why did you attack this installation? Shit. Also, how does Steve know how to? Isn't he like 17 in this? How the hell does he know how to fly an AC-130 or a C-130? Excuse me. Yeah, I did do a video on that. Lou. Can't remember what the guy's name was, but it was really good art. Excuse me. "1126" has returned as well. I think it was on a license plate. Always cool. I'm sure he will just be as caked up. Shit. John, I hope we get is the body horror from Resident Evil 2. You know, like you shoot a zombie in the head and it explodes. We didn't really have that in RE3 as much because they was trying to prioritize volume over fidelity. So I'd be very interested to see if that changes. $190 backers is crazy. Wait, someone must have... 2 seconds. Someone must have dropped something quite reasonable there. Oh, dang. We had like 3 donos on the go. I know, 4 donos on the go. Best part of like nearly $500. Yeah, $500 just on this stream, which is amazing. Thank you, everyone. Amazing work. Appreciate that. The knife's pretty good, though. I like the knife in this game. Can you go through here? You can. Can't remember if you could. Oh, fuck! scared the shit out of me. I forgot there was... Fuck. I forgot they were down here. I thought it was hunters in here. As you can tell, I still get caught off guard. So you can go in here. I don't remember you being able to go in here. Ah. Ooh. Yeah, Wesker's gonna look sick. 1998 HCF Wesker's back, boy. Yeah, great point by Brandon. I don't know how long Brandon's going to be hanging around for, but if you've got any questions at all about Original Sin, Prelude to Biohazard, which is currently... Wait, that figure's gone up. That figure's gone up. That figure has gone up. Wait there. Hang on a fucking minute. No way is that just gone up in the... Am I going insane? That fit. We could break 70k in this stream. Oh my word, we could break 70k. That has gone up. We are so close, guys. If you want to be part of the fastest growing Resident Evil feature film in history, like the figure we're doing right now, this is the fastest funding Resident Evil film in history. If you want to be part of it, jump on the link, have a look through the rewards that you can get for backing the project and help us make this a reality. This is your Resident Evil film. Not just our Resident Evil film, your Resident Evil film. And with your help, we can make it a reality. Yeah, I think it was like DC 23 or something, Lou. Pretty sure. Here we go. Actually, let me go here quickly. I think there was some... yeah, acid rounds. Always helpful. I hate this room so much. So I'm actually going to... Oh. Save states. I'm actually going to save state it, just in case I get brutally murdered by the Albinoid. I like it how Claire shoves the skeleton picture up her arse to get it out of this room. That's the only plausible explanation I've got for it.
Biohazard contamination detected. Level 3. Emergency shutters will close. All personnel evacuate immediately.
Oh, no damage. Love that. Oh shit, I can't remember if I knocked the door or not. I think I did. Dude, if we can hit 70k before I wrap up tonight, which appears to be a very, very strong reality now. Bit of a pipe dream when I started, because I think it was at, what was we at, 66 or 67? But that actually could be a thing. That's crazy. Help us bring it to life, gang. Oh, fucking Ryan's even backed it. Unbelievable work, Ryan. Thank you so much. What an absolute trooper. This man loyally cuts my hair every 2 weeks. And now he is back in. He is back in fucking Original Sin. Let's fucking go, Daddy. Thank you. You are officially credited in Original Sin when we make it to the promised land. $69,418. I just realised that does update live, which is really helpful. I don't have to refresh it. Dude, this is bullshit. This is refreshed. That's very unkind. Yeah, so that's very interesting, Lou. So we do know there's story DLC planned for Requiem. I think this is the first time in history that we've got a new Resident Evil game coming out, whilst there's still DLC being planned for the previous Resident Evil game. I find that quite interesting. But yes, Requiem DLC is still coming. I still have not played Leon Must Die. Precisely that, Brandon. Precisely that. Do you have a date for film time? Those are book travel if interested in cast crew. So we're looking at September. It's quite tentative at this point, but sort of middle to the end of September is when we're going to be shooting in Pennsylvania. We're currently looking at Danville, Pennsylvania. We've got a really good setup with some of the locations. And I believe we're then heading to Western Pennsylvania. But Brandon's in the chat. He will tell you more. It's quite difficult now because the stretch goals are quite intrinsic to the total vision. So if we don't get the full 200k with all the stretch goals, we kind of have to scale that vision back down to the baseline Original Sin, which, by the way, will be absolutely fantastic, but it won't have those additional bells and whistles that we've given everybody options for. And again, the absolute magnum opus has to be the RE1 remake intro that we're doing for 200k. There's just so much value for money for the additional 100k. There really is. Like, we get one chance to do this. Let's fucking do it. No, listen, Ryan, we are closer to our goal with your support. So thank you, mate. Appreciate that. We are also 8 backers away from 200 backers, which is 200 people believe in our vision is insane. I am going to leave you in Brandon's capable hands over on YouTube. I am just going to head to the little boys' room. Actually, let me get to the save point so you've got some decent music. This is so much better with the door skip. Oh my god. It's like a different game. Yeah, if we're getting 200k, Scott's not just going to be doing shirtless cameos. He's going to be naked, covered in baby oil, doing cameos. So let me tell you that. Well, I'll be back in a sec, gang. I'm just having a piss. I accidentally knocked my microphone cover off. Oops. Trading cards with character infos on. Collect them all. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat, Damien. Brandon Andy, cast trading cards with character info on the back. Collect them all. That would be really cool. We're still quite early in the campaign. I have some ideas for more perks and, you know, posters, etc. I just really needed to get the campaign moving, basically, because it may shock you, but September will come around a lot quicker than you think. And if we finish funding at the end of July, that's August, September. Now it takes 14 days for it to withdraw, so that's basically mid-August that we start to get funds. We've now got to book everything. It's kind of shit, to be honest, but it's just how Indiegogo works, unfortunately. I think we've got another donation, actually, because we're at 418. Let me just double check. No, it was Ryan. It was the last one. Excellent, thank you. I thought there was another one. But yeah, we will continue funding after the fact. So we will have it's called in demand or post crowdfunding. So we will continue the crowdfund campaign. But the point is, we actually can't do that. We actually can't do that if it doesn't initially get funded. Like, it would just switch off at under 100k. So once we reach that level, obviously we'll start to make those decisions. 3 months is crazy. Welcome in, Brandon. Appreciate you making time for us today. Brandon is going to be kind of heading up the FX team here and producing some really fucking cool shit if we can get all of the stretch goals over the line, which we're really looking forward to. Yeah, I think it'd be really cool, actually. There's a scene with... I don't want to give away too much, but there's a scene with Irons and, like, the mountain road and discovering the corpses and stuff. It'd be so cool if it was, like, you know, Irons is, like, barking at Chris and he's like, look, the RPD's here. We've got the Arkley sheriffs up our arse. This crime scene's a mess, you know, and he's proper laying it on thick with everyone. I can see the Arkley sheriff working. It just needs like an old 4-wheel drive, you know. Like with an Arkley sheriff badge slapped on the side of it. Right, let's have a look here. Right, I think I need to go do that puzzle, which I hate doing. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I'd like to think so, Luke. Oh, and by the way, thanks for tuning in, Luke. Appreciate you, brother. It's a massive... We've still got a massive uphill task of getting there, but every day's getting easier, which is good. If anything, it's the stretch goals I'm super concerned at, because I really, you know, I'm an ambitious man. Brandon's an ambitious man. And I want to max out the perks, max out the stretch goals, excuse me. But we've got to provide everybody value for money to do that. So I believe we are, obviously. It's just articulating that to everyone and getting that wider support. Like we've done I think the community has done a good job of securing quite a high capital early on, but they're actually like producer perks. So a lot of the really high value producer perks have gone, which I'm very grateful for. I mean, just the fact that someone's donating $1 to our campaign is absolutely unbelievable. They believe in our vision that much. They're parting with their own money is unbelievable. But I think what we need now is just like volume of like backer credits and Blu-rays, etc., which is really going to take it up to 11. Obviously sprinkled in with some more producers, which I'm sure will come. We've already had like an influx of brand new producers, which is good because it, as much as we appreciate the previous producers on Resurrection and Keeper's Diary, it's good that we have new producers coming through who kind of saw the other productions from a distance and now they want to go all in, which is really, really wholesome. Yeah, I mean, in terms of extras, a lot of people have messaged me about extras. Obviously, there's an element that we want to prioritize getting production funds in to make this thing a reality. But the best thing I would suggest, if anybody wants to be potentially considered for an extra, is let us get through this initial crowdfund period so we can review what's actually on the table. Like, especially if we don't get all of the stretch goals, we're going to need to review what we can achieve for the budget, etc. And then we can then start reviewing about extras and where we can put them and that sort of thing. So it's still on the table. It's just I don't have a lot of answers right now because there's like a million moving parts. I actually can't remember this portrait puzzle, so I'm actually going to Google it. Sorry. Well, the exact system, so woman, Veronica. So that is Veronica. Veronica. Man with 2 babies. Man with a teacup. That's got to be Alexander. Man with the plate behind him. I think it's this one. Oh, no, that's not actually. That's not, yeah, that's Thomas. That's not Alexander. Man with a paper. Man holding a paper, excuse me. It's got to be this one. So that's Edward. Man with blue clothes with candle next to him. That's Alexander. And then giant painting with a boy, which is up here, yeah, of course. Conan O'Brien's diabolical. Thank you, Brandon Murphy. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for making time for jumping in the stream today. Yeah, if you didn't come to this you didn't come to the Resurrection premiere, did you, Scott? I don't think you did. I had so many people there that I was a bit overwhelmed. Especially like, how do I put this diplomatically? Like, I mean this with the best will, of course, but I was absolutely wiped out. Absolutely wiped out from the flight. Like, I'd literally flown in the day before, so my body clock was all over the place. And there was just so many people, like, talking with and striking up conversations with, that my social battery just got completely fucking depleted. So you just had surgery. That was it. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that there was a reason you didn't come. I just can't remember it. But yes, you definitely won't want to miss this. We're envisaging it's probably going to be around March time. Right, probably don't need this for now. Okay, oh yeah, definitely don't need them. Yeah, everything's going to be filmed in the US. I don't think there's anything that's going to be in the UK this time, unfortunately. Mainly because there's not scope for it. Oh yeah, I might take just a moment. Oh, that could have been fatal. Man, this feels so good playing the US version of Code Veronica. It's so smooth. Hey, Damien, thank you kindly for backing the project. Man, we are now 400 away from 70k, which is insane, gang. Thank you so much. And it's automatically updated as well, which is beautiful. Also, put your lighter on when you go in here. You just get left alone. So that puts us at 193 backers. We are edging closer. Dude, 200 backers is crazy.
Keep focused, brother. Our enemy is only a little girl. Oh, why is this taking so long?
My apologies, Alexia, but I have been doing my best.
The revival of the Ashford family depends on your success, brother.
I am aware of that, Alexia. I will revive the family name myself and make you the master of the glorious Ashford family.
Ashford family.
I
will kill you.
Myself. Who's there? Is someone at the corridor?
What is it, Alexia?
Nothing.
Alexia.
I believe I must have been imagining things. Let us go, brother.
Big fan. Like, I'd say my drink of choice is probably. There's an offshoot of Jack Daniels called Gentleman Jack's. It's like it's very mellow. It's like triple distilled, very smooth. Jack and Coke basically, but it's Gentleman Jack's is different. It's totally different than like number 7. What is it, Alexia? I think I have to open this up now. Oh no, wait, I think I have to go into the other room. Yeah, Gentleman Jack's pretty good. Very mellow. I think I've already planned my route to Danville as well. So I basically, without having a bunch of like stops in my trip, because as you can appreciate, UK to US is quite involved. It's a long flight. Yeah, we need to do this. I can get a direct flight to Philadelphia, and then I'm literally just going to jump in a hire car and just drive straight to Danville. It's like 2 hours or so, 2.5 hours. Oh, wanker. Oh! Gotta go, gotta go! Oh, wanker. Smacked me on the way out. Christ, Mr. Budsky, that is a long flight. Do you not? I thought you had to stop off in Dubai. Is it one flight? If they cut anything from the remake, I think as long as they preserve the original to the best of their abilities, I won't be too mad. I think that's probably the most diplomatic answer I can give. Obviously, if they leave a key character out, like, excuse me, they leave a key character out like Chris or fucking, well, I won't leave Chris out, obviously. Steve or, I don't know. If it's a slimmed down version like RE3 Remake is, which it won't be, I'll be disappointed. Dude, I remember, like, when I was in Vegas, I bought some, like, these slushies on the strip. And I only bought, like, 4 of them. I was like, yeah, it's all right, guys. I'll get this one in. It was, like, $150 plus tip. I was like, oh, fuck. I mean, obviously, I did it. But I was like, oh, yeah. Not much more of those, please. It was good, though. Yeah, I think they have learnt their lesson, to be fair. I agree. So I think what I'll do is I'll get to the next save point, which I know which one it is. It's the one by the prison. I need to take the hermostat as well. Actually, I can always do it there. I've been to the US, so I went New York in 2017. Then I went to Vegas in 2021 and 2022. Then I went to... I did Shot the Keeper's Diary in Michigan, so I was fucking all over the place. Chicago, through Wisconsin, Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Lower Peninsula of Michigan, and then back round to Chicago. And then I flew out to Vegas again for the Resurrection premiere. Big fan of Vegas, actually. I really like Vegas. Yeah, like the Keeper's Diary was wild. So I flew into Chicago, which was a 7-hour flight. I then picked up a grip truck, which had all of our like camera and lighting equipment in from Chicago. Then I drove 5 hours to the Upper Peninsula, all through Wisconsin. Beautiful drive, by the way, but it's not a beautiful drive when you're on like your 20th hour of being awake. Oh, I've still got that key. Well, I've still got that key. I missed something. Yeah, so we've been talking about the stretch goals the entire stream, but just as a rough recap, the first two stretch goals are basically enhancements of the original Sin experience. So we've got a really cool one around kind of the entrance scenes, or the starting scenes to... Oh, 2 seconds. The starting scenes to Original Sin, where we're going to be bringing in an FX artist to really take the production to 11. Our second one is towards the end of Original Sin. We're really going to up the production value for that final scene. That's what the second perk is. The third perk is we are going to shoot a found footage short inside of Original Sin, just showing, in essence, a little bit of the outbreak from the Arkley Labs, which I think is really cool. So we're up to 150k right now, 140k right now. 150k, we're back doing the exclusive screening again, so I'd love to do that again. We're going to be doing that in Pennsylvania this time round. Location to be confirmed. Then 180k, we've got the Barry Burton short film, which is a huge deal. So for 180k, not only are you getting the full Original Sin experience, the exclusive screening, you're also getting an original Barry Burton short film that is supplementary content to Original Sin. It tells the story of Barry and Wesker, and Wesker putting pressure on Barry and all that fun stuff. Really cool short film that Brandon has concepted. And, we've got all of the gear from Original Sin, so it makes sense to take advantage of as much content as we can. And then for $200,000, we have the all-important RE1 intro sequence. So we will be shooting the entire intro of Resident Evil 1 in live action, as authentic as can be. It's going to be an amazing opportunity. So we can only do that, of course, with your guys' support. So once we push past that initial 100k, all eyes are on maximising all of the stretch goals to really, you've got that baseline original sin experience. The 200k is then developing that original sin experience, and then all of this supplemental content around it. An amazing opportunity, it really is. I'm super looking forward to seeing everybody chip away on that. Hey, Silent Midnight, how's it going? Appreciate you dropping in. But we only get one chance to do this, gang. We only get one chance to really go, do you know what? There's a Resident Evil film out there that's coming out. It's not going to be... It's going to be an amazing film, but it's not necessarily going to be the most authentic Resident Evil experience. I believe, and Brandon believes, and the rest of the squad believe, that there is still scope to deliver authentic Resident Evil experiences. And we've already demonstrated this. This has been 6 days of crowdfunding, and we're nearly at $70,000 already. There is hype for this. It is happening. The question is, are you on board or are you not? Do you want to see your name in the credits of our film to show that, yes, I made this film possible? The choice is up to you. What are we doing? Right, so I am going to... We're going to do this Bandersnatch sequence, and we're going to wrap the stream up just because it's getting rather late. So I've got to be up in 5 hours, if you can believe it. No rest for the wicked. That's what it's literally at the moment. Just work, dad, original sin, sleep. Work, dad, original sin, sleep. Thank you kindly, Johnny, for your support, man. It's really appreciated. Well, actually, as it goes, you can be in the film. I mean, there's multiple ways that you can be in original sin. You can actually be in original sin. We have rewards that are focused around being extras. So we've got RPD. You can be a literal RPD police officer in the film. We also have the featured zombie perk, which is really cool. You can be a fucking zombie in our Resident Evil film. I think that's really cool. If you don't have the funds or budget for that, because they are quite high ticketed items, just because they're super limited in quantity, we also have having your photograph and name in original sin. Yes, you can subscribe to a reward, and we will put your name and photograph on our either crime scene board, so Albert Wesker will be pointing to you. Excuse me. Albert Wesker will be pointing to you. You form part of the original Arkley Mountains murders, so thank you and rest in peace. Or you can be on the Ultimate Umbrella Conspiracy board, which is a board that's shown a lot later in the film with Billy Rabbitson, and it shows basically the whole Umbrella Conspiracy in full. Kind of his serial killer notes. 2 places that you guys directly can be in the film. I think that's really cool. Yeah, I mean, we are sold out of the USS perk. We only had 2, to be fair, because we actually do have a USS team already. We just wanted to give like some people some opportunity to capture that perk, so that's cool. Oh, nice. So this is the Hunk note. So this ties Hunk to Rockfort Island. Hunk's report. Yeah, the fastest growing crowdfund campaign is crazy work. I like how the Bandersnatch is still pulsating. That's crazy. But yes, I'm going to go upstairs and save it now. And we will call an end to the stream. We just crossed the 3-hour mark. We've had an absolute blast talking all things Original Sin, all things Code Veronica remake, which, man, we're eating good, bro. We're eating good. Oops. We're eating very good as a Resident Evil fan. Okie dokie, right. I'm going to drop a cheeky one. Drop a cheeky save. And my sister's literally just raided me on Twitch as I'm finishing up. Really appreciate that, Athena, for making that happen. Thank you kindly. But we are actually just wrapping the stream up. We were talking about our brand new fan film, Original Sin Prelude to Biohazard. Link is in the description. Link is in the comment section if you want to check that out. We are 70,000, nearly 70,000 through, and we've only been crowdfunding for 6 days. This is the fastest growing Resident Evil crowdfund campaign in history. Absolutely smashing it. But I will have to raid out now, otherwise it would be very rude. But I just want to say thank you to everybody who supported the campaign so far. It really, really means a lot. You're supporting us get this special project over the line. We've got a little while left until we formally call it a day, but we do need to cross 100k to at least guarantee that you will see Original Sin in some capacity. So with your assistance, you can help us get across that all-important line. But for now, we are going to wrap up. As I said, I'm not going to be live on Wednesday because I've got a podcast with the Horror Hangout boys. Looking forward to that. But we will be live next Sunday with some more Code Veronica. I might even bring some of the Original Sin cast on. If Brandon's available, we'll try and drag Brandon out of bed for it, but we'll see. Let's make this happen. I don't know how far, where this is going to be in. I don't know where this is going to be this time next week. I'm hoping we're going to be funded. Wouldn't that be amazing? But yeah, let me just raid this one out, guys. Again, appreciate your time. Raid the channel. Is anyone playing Resident Evil at the moment? I'm just looking for someone to raid. There is no one I know playing Resident Evil right now. It'll have to be this dude. Alrighty. The raid is set up, gang. I appreciate all of your time. Follow us on socials for all updates around Original Sin, and we will see you all in the next one. Thank you again. Look after yourselves. We'll see you in the next.